So George, I'd like you to tell everybody in your words what your problem with Silicon Valley is exactly.
He basically says Silicon Valley is a bubble. It's not real or connected with America. And there are a lot of largely self-delusional entrepreneurs who believe that they are changing the world.
All I was trying to point out in that article was right now we have two things going on at once. We have this fabulously successful sector, and we have a broad sort of majority of Americans whose economic lives are stuck, if not sinking. And there's a certain utopianism that I find in Silicon Valley that doesn't take the latter into account.
So I've been in Silicon Valley for decades, and I've seen several generations and revolutions of visionaries and entrepreneurs, some of whom are disdainful of government and policy and society, but most of whom understand how important it is in the social well-being, the prosperity of America.
There's a great swath of America that isn't seen much by the media and isn't seen much by entrepreneurs and by the people who support them and by the venture capitalists who invest in them, which is there whether we like it or not. And not to acknowledge it and to take it into account and to see why it sunk into the place where it is and how much government has to do with that, how much Wall Street has to do with that. I mean, we're sort of stuck on Silicon Valley here, but my book goes, that's one piece of a much larger puzzle, is to not grapple with reality. I mean, all I'm trying to do is create a picture that shows people how I think the country is today. To do that, you have to go to Stokesdale, North Carolina. You have to go to Youngstown, Ohio.
As a metaphor, is what you mean, because there's any number of places you
There are many Stokesdales, just as there are many Silicon Valley.
I think it's not going deep enough to paint the valley with a great broad brush that says the leaders there are unconcerned about the country or the well-being or the social good or anything other than making money, because it's not true.